Welcome to the Corporate Trailblazers podcast, episode 32. Happy New Year! As we speak, it is January 1st, 2019. I am in beautiful Santiago, Chile. You may hear some wind. You may hear some people shouting. It's because I am outside of my sister's building right now because all of my podcasting equipment is already packed so that I can go home tomorrow. So that means that I'm recording this as a video, which I'm going to post on my group. If you're not a member of the group yet, go to inacoveney.com/Facebook, but you have to spell Coveney right. It ends in EY. And that's where I post all of my most intimate conversations, all of my trainings that I do every week, all of the answers that I give you for how to start your side business and how to start a business online. All of that happens in the group, so come and join us. Also, as always, a little bit of administrivials is that you can watch this and any of my podcast episodes on video by going to inacoveney.com/CT and the episode number. So for this is inacoveney.com/CT32. All right, so I will see you there. And without further ado, I like to do a little bit of an intro before my episodes, and this episode is going to be all about how to write New Year's resolutions that stick, because resolutions is really not a word that should be associated with business, right? We don't have wishes for our life or our business life. We have goals and we have plans. So I give you the 5 strategies on how to get that done. In this intro though, I wanted to tell you something that is going on right now in my life that has really impacted me. I don't know if you have noticed, if you've been listening to my podcasts every week, I post these every Tuesday. I go live on my group on Monday and I post them on Tuesday. And for the past couple of weeks, I have not been doing that. I've been kind of on vacation mode. I decided to give myself a little bit of a break. And sadly, I have rediscovered the wonders of this game from the 1990s called Civilization 2. If you've ever played it, give me a like, give me a shout, leave me a review, whatever it is to let me know that you have played this game, because Civilization 2 was my game when I was in high school. Like, that's where I would sit down and play. So I came to my sister's house and she still has it installed on her computer, on her new computer. She just keeps installing it and installing patches for it to work because it's an old processor game. And I saw it, I started playing with it, and I was up until 1 a.m. that night, and then I've been playing it every day. And I'm like, you guys, I really need to do work. I don't have time to play games. So I need to create, this is an actual like resolution for me, to stop playing Civilization. I can't believe I was reintroduced to this. It's like a drug. So anyway, I wanted to tell you guys something. And that's why I was explaining that the sound is not the best quality, because I already packed my podcasting equipment because I'm leaving tomorrow. I'm going back home tomorrow. So it's been a great vacation. I hope you guys had a great break too. If you're not listening to this during New Year's time or during Christmas time, I do hope that you get some time, a little bit to just relax, right? A little bit of time. Allow yourself a little bit of time to relax, to play Civilization, to do whatever the equivalent of that is for you. Sometimes you do need that break, and give yourself some permission to do that, okay? You don't have to be on all the time. So what I wanted to tell you guys is something that happened Christmas Eve. I'm gonna sit over here. There's too much echo in this room, so I'm gonna see if I can stay outside. There's a beautiful, if you're watching the video of this, a beautiful like Zen garden behind me. But Chile is notorious for being extremely hot in the summer, and the sun pierces through the ozone layer like you wouldn't believe. So being out in the sun in Chile is not the same thing as being out in the sun in Boston during the summer. So I'm gonna stay out of the sun. I'm gonna stay right here, right in the middle. I'm just going to prop this up against a candle of some sort. Put it right there. Okay. Christmas Eve was a little bit hard, I won't lie. It was really nice being with my family. You guys won't believe. It had been a really long time since I had spent time with my extended family and attended family parties and functions and, things where dinner is served at 11 o'clock at night, and breakfast is served, that kind of thing. And I was dancing to songs I hadn't listened to since, I don't know, middle school. It was a great, great time. And because social media is my job, I sometimes would check on the phone or respond to some people's posts or go on Facebook. And I was looking at my phone, and a friend of mine texted me. And he said, hey, I got this on Facebook. Did you get it? And I went back on Facebook, and I had gotten it. It was a message from the brother of one of my former coworkers. And he let us know that my ex-coworker, my friend, had taken his own life a couple days prior. That was extremely shocking to me. I will say his name. His name was Reno, and he was a good friend. I still can't believe what I heard. My friend who texted me was like, is this real, right? And the first thing I did was text Reno and say, can you please respond when you get this as soon as you can? Just in case, because, people do crazy things online. I'm not saying that guy wasn't his brother, but you never know, right? You have to verify these things. Of course, Reno didn't text back. Since then, I have been talking to Reno's brother. It has been extremely shocking for everyone, and I am very sad, I can't even believe that this happened. Last time that I saw my friend was during my birthday. He took me out to a shabu restaurant, and we had a few laughs, and that was the last time that I saw him. Then I communicated with him somewhat during August, and I was thinking, I really need to call him up and have lunch with him again, but life right now is complicated, and to tell you the truth, it was just as embarrassing as this sounds. I know that we all go through this. It was inconvenient. It was just inconvenient to meet up with my friend because he was in town. He didn't own a car, so he couldn't come visit me. It was up to me to come and see him. And Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I have the baby, and it's very inconvenient to go out there with the baby. Tuesdays and Thursdays, I have meetings, and meetings is my only time to actually have meetings because the baby is in daycare. So I saw my week, and I just can't do it. It's inconvenient. And I keep saying that word inconvenient because I feel like that's something that I could have easily talked myself out of. It's something that we all do. We ignore the people that are around us. And to take this back to the game of Civilization, if you've ever played the game, or even if you haven't, you create cities and you give them names. And in this particular game at home, I started naming it after people that were close to me. And I basically had to stop at my immediate family. I didn't feel like I could relate to anyone. At the same time, I'm here building an online business where I'm building an audience, where I'm talking to strangers all the time, where I'm being completely vulnerable with strangers. And I don't even know the people in my own home, in my own circle, in my own life, because the online world has taken over our lives. We go out to restaurants and we're on our phones. We go out to see family and we're on our phones. We are sitting on the plane next to our parents and we don't talk to them, we're on our phone. We take care of online businesses when there are friends in need and we just say it's too inconvenient. And this has really hit me hard, like it has hit everybody in Reno's life. There was no way we could have expected this. He was such a kind soul. He was such a good friend. He loved mentoring people. He loved talking to everyone. And I'm here thinking, what could I have done? What could any of us have done? And the truth of the matter is that we're probably all going to go on with our lives and nothing will have changed. And I think that would be the worst thing that we could do for somebody like Reno. If you've ever lost somebody in your life to something as terrible and nonsensical as suicide, you know that those are the thoughts that go through your mind at first. And then your life goes to being the same way. If there's anything that these lost lives can teach us, is to take care of the people around us. Not just the online people, not just the audience, not just the people we haven't seen in a while, is the people who are immediately within our reach. It's not too inconvenient to keep those human networks. And that's something that I believe now that we see 2019 in the eye. We really have to remember who those people are, who have been there for us, so that we can be there for them. And I will dedicate this episode to my good friend Reno. I used to call him Reno in Spanish. He wouldn't believe the amount of support and the kind of love that he's receiving now that he's gone. And I wish we could have all told him this beforehand. I don't know if it would have made a difference. Suicide is something that is a very personal thing to go through, to decide to do, and there's probably nothing any of us could have done. But it doesn't matter, because it still leaves that sense that we should have done something, we should have noticed, we should have been there. So let's take care of our relationships the best way we can. Let's remember our friends. Let's remember to reach out to everyone and say, how are you? And that's something in 2019 we should definitely make it a point to talk to our immediate family members, immediate friends, just the same as we're worrying about our businesses and our children, our lives. All right? So that is the message that I have for everyone. Reno, I love you. You knew that. We had a special relationship. And I dedicate this episode to you, my friend. I've been thinking about you all week. I'll probably think about you for the rest of my life. And I can't believe that the world has now been deprived of your genius and your brilliance and your humor. And I'm going to miss you. All right, guys. I hope this is a message that hits home for a couple of you. 2019, let's make it the personal relationship year and the noticing is if our friends need help year. All right? Goodbye, Reno. And goodbye, everybody. I really hope that you enjoyed this episode. It is all about how to plan for 2019 for your business. I hope this wasn't too much of a downer going into the episode. I really wanted to end with a hopeful note. And that is that if you yourself are not feeling happy, there are a myriad resources out there for you. There is a number in the Boston area. It's called the Samaritans. Google it. Go to samaritans.org, find their phone number, and call them. They're kind souls just willing to listen. You can call them every single day. You can call them multiple times a day. And they will be there to just listen to the things that you can't tell anybody else. And if it is your life and your job that is keeping you down, keep listening, because I will tell you how to get those things squashed, how to start to get your passions out, how to start to do things that you love so that you don't feel like you are stuck in your own life. You have a choice, you have decisions to make, and only you can make them for yourself. And I believe in you, and I know that you can do it. All right, guys? So let's start taking charge of our lives. Let's not let external factors take the reins of what could be our lives and what we could be doing with our time, with our skills, and with the love that we have in our hearts, okay? Make those decisions for yourself. Don't let anybody else make them for you. All right. And now, on to the 2019 episode. 5 strategies on how to create a plan that you can actually stick to. All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Have a way wonderful 2019 and Happy New Year. Bye.
If you're a corporate trailblazer with a secret life as an entrepreneur, welcome home. I'm your host, Ina Coveney, and the podcast begins now. Today, I want to talk to you about New Year's resolutions. Not just talk to you about them, but I kind of wanted to do a little bit different here. Not just tell you about why New Year's resolutions are good or bad for business, or how your business should not be handling them, or should they, or, I don't know what else you have heard about out there. What I want to talk to you about today is about how to look at that thing that you want to do this year, right? About business. You guys know that I talk all about how to start your own business, right? How to get out of the 9-to-5 and how to start your business, right? That's what this is all about. So how do you make that not be a New Year's resolution? Because we all know what New Year's resolutions means, right? It's basically what gyms are. Their whole business model is based on, right? They rely on the human trait of making wishes quickly and then forgetting about them just as quickly, right? Because imagine that you're a gym, right? You have a huge push to get all those people who are thinking, yeah, 2019 is the year I'm going to get fit, so I'm going to sign up for that membership. If everybody went through with their New Year's resolutions, you would never be able to get into a gym because it would be so crowded every hour of every day. Like seriously, think of the membership lists of gyms. They are making bank on people who decided to go and never went again. Why? Because that's just human nature. That's what resolutions feel like to us. New Year's resolutions, whenever we say this is a New Year's resolution, we know we're going to forget about it by the end of January. If we're lucky, some of us actually stick to New Year's resolutions through the end of the month, and that's a miracle. Well, here's the deal. What I preach, what I talk about, is about you getting that scheduling and financial freedom that you want, right? Not have to commute for somebody else anymore, not have to work so hard for somebody else anymore. Work hard, but do it for you. You guys know that's what I preach and that's what I talk about all the time. So New Year's resolutions is a tricky one. Number one, because I am guilty of loving making lists, right? I love it. I will make a list about anything, anytime, any day. And for me, it's not one of those things where I need to strike them off to feel the satisfaction. For me, making the list is the satisfaction. For me, making the list means that, okay, now it's front of mind, so I'll actually get to work on it. I don't go back and strike things out. I usually just start out with a blank slate. I'm like, okay, tell me everything again, because if it's not top of mind, it's probably not important for me to focus on anyway. So I love making lists, and New Year's resolutions has been my favorite list to make every single year. Do I stick to them? Heck no, right? Because they're resolutions. For me, they're wishes, right? So that's what I want you to realize, that New Year's resolutions are nothing but wishes, right? So when it comes to your life and your business and making money, that shouldn't be a wish, right? You've heard the expression that a dream without a plan is just a wish. It's so true, guys. If we don't have a plan, if we don't know exactly what we're doing here, we're not going to pull through. We're never going to get out of the 9 to 5. Our life is going to stay exactly the same. And you'll be watching me in my 2019 resolutions video saying exactly the same thing to you, and nothing will have changed. So we have to stop thinking of our life as a New Year's resolution, of our potential business opportunity as a New Year's resolution. That's not what it is. But I still love making the lists. I love making the list. As long as you're aware that New Year's resolutions are just wishes and they're fun to make, they're not necessarily to stick to. So what I wanted to do was kind of reprime your brain into believing, into knowing that what you really want to do, getting out of the 9 to 5, having your own schedule, making your own money, not having an income cap, being able to just make as much money as you can, as you want, right, as you're able to, with all the energy and all the skills that you have. That's not a resolution. And I'm going to tell you how we're going to make that list without thinking of it as a resolution. And for that, I have 5 strategies for you that you're going to apply in the next year. And you're going to see that the conversation we're going to have 12 months from now is going to be completely different from the one that we would have had if you thought about them as New Year's resolutions. Okay? Are you guys ready for this? Why don't we do that? So I have them written down right here, because you guys know I love making my list, so I did make my list. And number 1 is, when you write this list, I don't want you to write, start my business. That's not a plan, that's not a goal, that's a wish, right? I want to start my business. Whenever I can, right? Why? It feels like it. No. We're going to focus and we're going to say, this is a goal for the year. All right, so strategy number one is to assign a goal to a time frame and a measurable outcome. I know that sounds like homework, but business is not meant to be easy, right? If it was easy, everybody would just do it. Everybody would be making $1 million a year, right? It's not easy, but you are here because you are special. You believe that you can do these things. You believe much more for your life than your coworkers do. That's why you're here. So I want you to put on your project manager hat, your ability to organize thoughts and to create timelines and to create things that happen. I want you to use all of that for you. And you're going to start by creating a list of measurable goals with measurable outcomes and a time frame. So an example is, I would love to double my client list in the next 6 months, right? So I'm going to write that down. I'm going to say, I have so many clients now. I want this number of clients in 6 months, and 6 months is my deadline, right? July 31st. Is it June 31st is the middle of the year, right? Yeah, June 31st is going to be my deadline. All right. So when you write your list, by the way, have fun with your list. If you just want to write down your wishes at first, that's great. But when it comes to business and your life, I want you to go back to that list and say, okay, measurable outcome. I doubled the number of my clients, and which is my deadline. When am I going to get this done by? What that does is not just give you, I used to think that assigning a deadline or assigning a goal was just like wishful thinking, right? I used to think that this wasn't something that I could meet, right? I thought this was something that I would just write down and never look back to and be like, what was the point of assigning anything to it? It's just gonna bring me down if I don't make it. That's how I used to feel about goals. And then I realized that when you have a goal and you have a timeline, you act differently, especially if you firmly believe that you can make it. You act differently. If I have that deadline, that means that I need to generate so many leads over the next 6 months. And how do I generate leads? By creating content, by going on somebody else's podcast and talking about it, by going on Facebook groups and being helpful. All of these things are going to measure to, okay, how many leads do I need to turn into clients? All right. So I'm going to be acting differently because I have a goal and I'm going to make that happen. So that is point number 1. You got that one? Write your list. Be super excited about it. Write your wish list. They're fun to make. And then go back and I want you to assign a measurable outcome, right? Doubling the size of your client list. And I want you to assign a time frame by the end of June. Okay? Do that. But that's not all we're going to do. That's just strategy number 1. Strategy number 2, make it part of your routine to review your list of goals, okay? So this is one that is probably the hardest strategy of all the ones I'm going to give you. It's the hardest strategy of all of them to stick to because it means that you need to have a routine. And routines are hard to make because the first time you do it, it's not a routine. Second time, it's not a routine. A week, you're getting there. A month, even better. A year, you got yourself a habit. So if it means setting up a morning routine where you review what you have to do that day, what you review what you have to do that week, that month, whatever it is, make sure that this list of measurable goals and timeframes make it there, and that when you're planning your list, your task list or your priority list for the day and for the week, you look back there and you say, how am I working towards that? If I need more leads, I should be generating more content and I should be inviting people to work with me. Right? So that's what I need to be doing today to meet this goal. I need to do that every single day. How does that sound? Right? So strategy number 1, measurable and with a time frame. Strategy number 2, make it part of your routine to review that list regularly. Strategy number 3. Oh my God, guys. I'm going to say this until I'm blue in the face, but my business didn't really kick off until I hired myself a coach. And I know that you guys are going to say, well, you're a coach, so obviously you want us to work with you. Well, yes, because I'm a kick-ass coach and I can get you to actually get things done. That's what coaches do. That's what I do. And even if you don't want to work with me, work with somebody else. But if you want to meet those goals, you will need some help from somebody who has been there, somebody who knows the steps to take, in what order, what you should be prioritizing, somebody that you meet with every single week that will tell you, well, that thing that you're focusing on, it's great, but this is going to be your bang for the buck, right? And keep you on task, give you homeworks. By the end of the week, you will have so many client calls. By the end of the week, you will have so many taglines for your blog, right? Somebody has to be challenging you to do those things. And I preach that because not only is my job, but that's how I started my business. My coach was the one challenging me to have conversations with people to find out what people wanted. She was the one telling me, this is where you focus on. She was the one giving me the Facebook groups that are full of my target audience and telling me, go and hang out there and talk to people. So you need somebody, if you're really serious about this, if you're really serious about getting this off the ground, you will need somebody that's going to tell you what to do, when to do it, in what order, and that will keep you accountable every single week so you don't fall off the tracks, you don't fall off the wagon, and you can actually make this happen for yourself this year. So, oh my God, guys, I don't know how to tell you this anymore. Hire yourself a coach. It makes a huge difference in your ability to execute, even if you're already a type A execution kind of person like I am. I still need coaching. I still need mentorship. I still need somebody to tell me these are the steps you follow and in this order, and you go and do it and come back and we'll celebrate the wins and we will discuss all the lessons that you learned, and you will make it in the end because you're still making steps every single week. So you guys, 2019, make it the year that you hire yourself a coach so that you're serious about this and this actually happens for you, okay? Strategy number 4, it's related, but it's completely different, which is invest in group programs. So this is similar to hiring a coach. You hire a coach for one-on-one interaction. Somebody's going to keep you accountable every week. Find group programs that somebody that you admire, somebody that you respect is leading, somebody who's investing in themselves, right? That somebody else is leading, and join that program. Because what you're doing is buying yourself access to a much higher level than your own. All right. This host is going to talk to others about you. The people who are in that group are going through the same thing you are. So you will want to make friendships with them. You will want to collaborate with them. Just to give you an example. Hi, Jennifer. Nice to see you here. Just to give you an example, I was in a mastermind back in May. And to tell you the truth, it was my first mastermind. I didn't know what to expect. I felt like I didn't get as much out of it as I really could have. But you know what I got out of it was the connections. And in January, I'm about to sign up for another group program that is being led by somebody who was in the same mastermind that I am. So she gained a customer. I gained a friend who is helping me make it to the next level. And I'm going to be rebranding in January, February, and March with her, and that's going to bring a huge impact to my business. So these connections that you make in group programs, make sure that they're really high quality programs with really high quality people, and you can't go wrong. Your business is going to skyrocket just by these networking opportunities, and these opportunities are much different than the kind of networking that you would do at a conference, right, or at a coffee shop, at a meetup. Very, very different quality of people that have already been vetted, that are already paying as much as you are to be in there, and the host you already admire, you already respect, you know they have the connections to get you there, and they will talk about you. So all of this helps blow up your business. So find group programs that you can invest in and learn from, okay? Strategy number 5, this is my last strategy for your quasi New Year's resolutions, really business goals for 2019, which is, you guys, you can be the most type A, the most driven, the person with the most grit, the person with the most knowledge, the person who is going to really make it because you have all the energy and you know you can do it and you're a go-getter. You can have all of those things. But if you don't feed your mind inspiration and motivation, sometimes the road can get hard. And it can get hard to stay motivated. And it can get hard to stay inspired. So I encourage you to make it a ritual. Every single day, you're going to listen to a podcast, crack open a book, listen to an audiobook, all right? You're going to do something that is going to inspire you and motivate you. Now, inspiration and motivation are two different concepts, okay? Inspiration is what gets you to think about things that you could be doing, right? Every time that I listen to an episode of The Badass Business Babes with Lauren Elislove, or Manifestation Babe with Catherine Zenkina. I know that they are business women that have made it to a level that I'm going for. So I study them. When I listen to their episodes, I'm not just listening to the content, I am always listening for business tips. How are they doing this? How are they speaking to their audience? These things inspire me to be a better leader, to be a better coach, and to really make it to where they are. They tell me that I can do it. If they can do it, then I can too. That's what inspiration is getting that little flutter in your belly that tells you, yes, you're on the right track. They could do it. You can do it too. That's what inspiration is. Motivation is different. Motivation gets you to take action. All right, inspiration, you can be inspired all day long. That doesn't mean that you're going to actually take action on anything. So motivation is when you listen to podcasts like Amy Porterfield. Amy Porterfield, yes, I study her business habits, but I listen to her strategies. And the strategies give me ideas to try something new. So what I'm going to leave you with is some recommendations for podcasts that are going to inspire and motivate you. And these are the ones that I listen to, okay? So the Amy Porterfield podcast is packed with online marketing tips and tricks that you will want to try right away. Like as soon as you get home, you will want to get on your computer and try. So Amy Porterfield is a huge one for strategy. Tony Robbins' podcast, sometimes he's on, sometimes he isn't. It's not a real podcast. It's more like snippets of his events where he gives you really inspirational stuff. So they may not lead you to take action, but they really get you to flutter and say like, yes, I can do it, and that's something I can work on. So Tony Robbins' podcast is really good. Manifestation Babe podcast, Badass Business podcast, those are great for studying the people that you want to emulate, for listening for mindset tricks, mindset help, because all of this can go right in the trash if you don't have the right mindset for it. And to learn more about mindset, Manifestation Baby is the best podcast because she teaches you how to train your subconscious to work with your conscious mind so that you don't fall off the wagon, so that you can keep working towards the goals that you have. I mean, all of these podcasts have influenced me in some way, and it's usually for inspiration and for motivation so that I can go and take action with the grit and the excitement and the energy that I already have, that I was born with, that I have harnessed over the years. All of that is nothing without motivation and inspiration. So that's what I want you to do every single day. Identify a podcast that you're going to listen to every single time. Okay? Manifestation Babe, Badass Business Babe, Tony Robbins, Amy Porterfield are my top go-to podcasts, and there are many, many more out there. So I encourage you to go, and you know how I found the Amy Porterfield podcast? I just went on my podcasting app and I searched for podcasts around that talked about masterminds. So I went to the episodes tab. I'm like, okay, show me episodes about masterminds. And then I found her. So if you have a topic that you want to learn more about, like business mindset, money mindset, manifestation, anything like that, do a search for episodes that talk about that, and then listen to those episodes and see if you like the host, and stick around. You may learn something new. And I'd be remiss if I didn't remind you of the Corporate Trailblazers podcast, which is my podcast. If you're listening to it on the podcast, there's a very meta suggestion. You're already in. If you're listening to this on Facebook, on Instagram, YouTube, anywhere, go check out the Corporate Trailblazers with Ina Coveney podcast. But you have to spell Coveney right. It ends in EY. Okay? In my podcast, this is the stuff I talk about: motivation, inspiration, and strategy. So if you like that, come and review it on iTunes so that more people can find it. That's how you're helping others. That's how you're passing the buck, all right? Or paying it forward is what I mean, not passing the buck, paying it forward. So those are the 5 strategies that you want to use in order to make 2019 the year that you got out of corporate, the year that you tested your idea and you found out that it worked, the year that you decided you're gonna work on your passion and all your energy is gonna go to you. To nobody else, to nobody else's company, to nobody else's work, to nobody else's problems. You are going to focus all your energy, wisdom, knowledge, mindset, everything you got on you and on making it for your own life. Okay? So that's basically what I had for you guys now. Thank you so much for watching this. If you would like, leave me a comment, leave me a like. What I want you to do is to really think about resolutions versus business goals. And I want you to tell me if you have heard about that distinction before. Did that ring any bells? So, and the last thing that I want to do is to give you an invitation. So I have opened up a few spots to work with me one-on-one, where I'm going to be that coach on strategy number 3, where I'm going to guide you from A to Z in your business. And I have a program, it's called the Salary Replacement Program. And when you go through it, all right, I'm going to teach you how to validate your business idea to make sure you're working on something that will actually work. I'm going to guide you through what should you do with online presence so that your content is out there and you can start attracting leads and building an audience. I am going to build your website so that you're not fumbling with all the tech that I've seen so many people fumble with for the past year. Making websites is just so easy for me because I've been doing it for 7 years at this point professionally. So I can just do that for you and you can just get that out of the way. So I'm the coach that will make your website. And after that, it's all about getting leads, getting clients, and getting the right strategy in place. So that program, I'm super proud of it. I really, really believe that it's going to help a lot of people out there who were in the same position that I was when I was in corporate, which was I was surrounded by other coworkers who were not thinking about this stuff, who were not thinking of making their own money. They were not thinking about having their own energy spent on their own life. I was working with people who were like zombies. They were fine working the life that they had. They didn't want any change, and I wanted change, and I wanted to talk to people who were more like me now. So that's what I offer to people who are in that position, to tell them, come over, I will show you. And the ice dropped. I will show you how to do this. So that's what this program is for. So if you would like to book a spot so we can talk and see if this is a good fit for you, if this is something that you're ready for. See, the fridge is excited. I don't know if you can hear it. So if you want to get on a call and find out if this is the right thing for you to do in 2019, for you to finally buckle down and get this done and validate your idea and make sure this is something you want to do, you can do it even while you work full time. You can do it even as a side business, and I can show you how. So go to inacoveney.com/I want out. And that is all in one word, no spaces, no dashes, no underscores. inacoveney.com/I want out, and book your session with me so we can talk about what it is that you have in mind, and I will tell you whether this is a good way for you to go or not. All right, I'm not just out just getting any kind of clients. I want to get the right client who's going to be very successful. If that is the vision that you have for yourself, this is your next logical step. Find out if a coach is the right thing for you. So let's get on the phone and let's find out if this is the right way for you to go. And I will tell you if it isn't. All right, I will tell you if you're not ready. Don't you worry about it. I don't go around selling something to people that they don't need, or they're not going to use, or they're not going to be successful at. So let's talk about it and see if this is a good call. All right, inacoveney.com/I want out, but you have to spell Coveney right. It ends in EY. All right, that is all that I had for you guys. I am super happy to be here with you every single day. And thank you so much for being a part of the Facebook group. If you're listening to this on the podcast and you're not a part of the Facebook group, go to inacoveney.com/Facebook. Find it there. Come join us, because this is the kind of stuff we talk about all the time. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really wish you the best New Year's resolutions writing list writing session. Have fun with it. You guys, this is not meant to be stressful. This is meant to be super fun. And I hope you have a wonderful start to the new year. I will see you in the Facebook group. Happy holidays. Bye, everybody. Thank you for listening to the Corporate Trailblazers podcast with Ina Coveney. And this is a part where I ask you to subscribe to this podcast if you haven't already, and to go to iTunes and leave me a review and a star rating. It really does help people find the show when you do that, and I would really appreciate it. You can also connect with me on Instagram at Ina Coveney and on Facebook at facebook.com/female trailblazer. All right, guys, I hope to see you there. Bye.